I slammed a door at work and almost got fired over my paycheck. My assistant manager, Lisa, has this problem where she loses things constantly. Papers, keys, orders, you name it. But losing my paycheck 3 times in 2 months was where I drew the line. The first time it happened, she apologized and said it must have gotten mixed up with someone else's paperwork. Fine, mistakes happen. The second time, she claimed the main office never sent it over. Whatever, I let it slide. But last Friday was different. It was payday and I needed that money. My car payment was due and I was already cutting it close. I went to her office at 3 p.m. to pick up my check like always. She looked at me confused and said she didn't have it. I asked her to check again. She shuffled through the same pile of papers 3 times and shrugged. I don't know what to tell you, she said. Maybe it's at the East location. The East location is an hour and 15 minutes away from our store. I told her there's no way my check would be there since I've never worked at that location even once. She just stared at me and said, well, that's the only place I can think of. You should probably go check. I drove all the way there after my shift ended, sat in traffic for over an hour, got to the East location at 6:30 p.m. and asked their manager about my check. He looked at me like I was crazy and said they definitely didn't have it. He made a few calls to confirm and then apologized for my wasted trip. I drove all the way back. Another hour and 20 minutes because traffic was even worse. When I got home, it was almost 9 p.m. and I was furious. I called Lisa and she didn't answer. I sent her 3 texts asking what I was supposed to do. She read them and didn't respond. Monday morning, I came in early specifically to talk to her. She was in her office drinking coffee and scrolling through her phone. I asked if she found my check yet and she actually laughed, like genuinely laughed at me. She said, oh my God, you're still worried about that? It'll turn up eventually. It always does. That's when something in me just snapped. I told her this was ridiculous and completely unprofessional. She rolled her eyes and said I was overreacting. I walked out of her office and slammed the door so hard that this picture frame fell off the wall in the hallway. I didn't even mean to slam it that hard. I was just so angry that I couldn't control how much force I used. Within 10 minutes, Lisa called me into the back room with this smug look on her face. She had a written warning already printed out. She said I was being written up for aggressive behavior and destroying company property. The picture frame had a tiny crack in the corner. Then she said I needed to apologize to her in front of the entire staff at our next team meeting. She wanted me to stand up in front of all 15 of my coworkers and say I was sorry for disrespecting her. I told her absolutely not. That's when I said if my check isn't found by the end of the day, I'm calling the district manager and explaining exactly what's been going on. I pulled out my phone right there and started scrolling through my contacts to find his number. Lisa's face completely changed. She suddenly got really nervous and said, wait, let me check one more place. She went to her office and came back literally 5 seconds later holding my check. It was just sitting on her desk under a magazine. She handed it to me and said, oh look, here it is. Guess it was here the whole time. Then she ripped up the written warning right in front of me. She didn't apologize, didn't acknowledge that she just wasted hours of my time and gas money. Instead, she started crying, actually crying, saying I hurt her feelings by threatening to go to her boss, that I made her feel attacked and unsupported. Now she keeps leaving these passive-aggressive notes on my schedule asking when I'm going to apologize for my attitude.